oriented budget where a lot of investment is going to take place, especially in the area of infrastructure and in agriculture. And through that investment, the government expect to create more uh, employment opportunities. But this budget is also criticized from many quarters, especially from people on the left. They say this budget is not giving the due weight for the economically and socially weaker sections of the society. Not much offers are there. Similarly, other criticisms are also there because globally there are so many uncertainties we face these days after the Trump became the president of United States. So we need to see what is going to happen. So in the midst of the uncertainties, what are the possible solutions this budget can offer? I think the panelists will be able to deliberate on that, and I hope that this
Yes.
meeting will have a very fruitful discussion relating to that also.
Yes.
So once again, thank all of you for inviting me and giving me an opportunity here. So I have taken over or I have assumed the office of the principal at the BCM College. Reshma is also there. In the Basilius College, another alumni is there. Lisa is there, so I'm very happy to be there. So thank you all. Wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for not, letting us miss you. You're always there with us for everything. Thank you so much. Now we have with us Associate Professor Dr. Joshi John. He's the HOD of the BBA department at Marian College, and he's been with Marian since the beginning. He's one of a kind person that who's loved and liked by students and faculty equally. And he's a very cool person and who's ever ready to support any initiative which empowers the students. And we're proud to have you here. Over to you, sir, for a few words.
In fact, good evening to one and all, esteemed panel members and my dear Marine Alumni Association office bearers, my dear friend Professor Dr. K.V. Thomas, who has just assumed office at BCM. Happy to see you. And respected Principal Professor Dr. Ajimon George. In fact, I am privileged to be part of this program. The gathering named Decoding India's Budget 2025. The 2025 budget presented by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has introduced a series of transformative policy measures designed to propel our nation toward sustained economic growth and inclusive development. So, if you look at this budget from the common man's perspective, one can find that if your vehicle's battery is down, okay, one step we take is we try a jump start. We will bring a powerful battery and try to transfer power from that. So, our economy was badly in need of such kind of a jump start to move on. So, Nirmala Sitharaman has made an effort, a good effort, okay, as pointed out by Professor Dr. Ajimon George and Professor Dr. K.V. Thomas. And one of the notable reforms is meant for the middle class, that is exempting over 1 crore taxpayers from income tax liabilities by the new introducing the new tax regime, raising it to 12 lakh rupees. And she has pointed out that we are expecting to enhance disposable income to stimulate domestic consumption and strengthen overall economic activity. So apart from that, of course, for industry, then of course our primary sector, agriculture, through Prime Minister Dhan Dhanya Krishi Yojana, and uh, personally, I will feel that this has got she has added 1 or 2 teaspoons of political sauce to this particular budget. That is, she has lured the middle class, and the results have come out. The Delhi election results, and of course, the Bihar election, the establishment of Makhana board in Bihar. Okay, that is also aimed at the general elections due by the end of this particular year. So when you have power, definitely
You
you
can
have
be.
the you have the freedom to manipulate. And of course, one positive stroke about it is the 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 benefit reaches the middle class. That is by raising the income tax limits. Anyway, I would like to. I don't want to contribute. I mean, say more about in this fact. I am keenly waiting for the panel discussion to happen, so that more nuances related to this particular budget will be opened up and will be enlightened with more thoughts from all the panel members. So congratulating Marine Alumni Association Kochi chapter and its office bearers for organizing such a meaningful program. And I think initial part when Reshma just deviated from the original topic, saying a lot of good words about me. Thank you personally. Thank.
I'm sure agree everyone in this group would agree to that. So it's not a concern. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very
Anyway,
much
let's
for
get into
joining
the
us.
serious
Yeah.
discussion. Thanks once again. All the very best for every kind of endeavor, hosted by the Marine Alumni Association. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So few of our, more alumni members, sorry, faculty members are also in this group. But I just want to acknowledge their presence in the meeting, because the faculty has been a source of encouragement, a source of support, a great impact in our lives. I would say in what we are now, they have a great part. So thank you for being here. And so now it's time to move on to the key part of our session. I want to say a few word about our moderator. She's a brand new PhD holder. She just secured her doctorate, the beginning of February. It's none other than Dr. Steffi K. Jose. Over to you, Steffi, for a fruitful panel discussion of the budget to 2025.
Thank you so much, my dear friend Reshma, for this wonderful opportunity. Wishing all of you a great evening. And myself, Steffi Kejos, I'm a proud alumna of Marine College, Kutikanan. And presently, I'm working as assistant professor in the Department of Commerce, St. Aloysius College, Edatua. So let me just take 1 minute time to express my deep sense of gratitude to my Marian, and very especially to my beloved teachers, Professor Dr. Rajmohan sir, Principal of Marian College, Kuttikanam. Again, to my beloved teacher, Professor Dr. K.V. Thomas sir, Principal of BCM College, Kottayam, Dr. Joshi sir, and all other teachers, and of course to Marian Alumni Association, Kuttikanam, for blessing me with this great opportunity. So thank you all. And let me also extend a very warm welcome to Dr. Leanne Matthew, who is the technical advisor of this event. So hearty welcome, teacher. And without any delay, let me move on with my entrusted task for the day. So, for the kind attention of the audience, like at the end of the panel discussion, we will be having a Q&A session. So, by the end of each discussion by the panel members, you can post your questions or queries in the chat box. And the panel members will be taking up the questions by the end of all the presentations. So, kindly ensure that your questions are put into the chat box. So now, being the moderator of the event, let me begin. Let me try to decode the Union Budget 2025. So as my beloved teachers, Ajmon sir, Thomachin sir, and Joshi sir has already given the highlights of the Union Budget. But however, to begin with the panel discussion, let me just decode, to begin with the decoding of the Union Budget. So, the Union Budget 2025, presented by the Honorable Central Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, is a bold move, very especially with regard to the income tax reforms. So, firstly, with regard to the widening of the income tax slabs under the new tax regime. Secondly, the change in the tax rates accordingly in the new tax regime. And most importantly, the enhancement of rebate under Section 87A up to an amount of rupees 60,000. And owing to this major change individuals earning an annual total income of rupees 12 lakh or below will not have to pay income tax. Again, salaried class gets an additional benefit of a standard deduction of 75,000. So definitely this brings forth a great tax relief to the middle class, which in turn enhance economic growth by accelerating consumption in our economy. So, of course, again, as Ajmoon sir has rightly said, that the budget, the Central Finance Minister has identified the four engines of development too. So, of course, agriculture has been given more emphasis on to, and these measures will give a revival of this particular sector. And again, more emphasis is made on to MSMEs too, which will enhance investment options too. And again, exports and investments are also given due consideration. So this rightly indicates that there is likely every chance for growth of our economy. So now let me introduce, with proud privilege, let me introduce our respected members of panel. So to begin with, CA Jomon Kattipurakil, our distinguished alumnus of 1997-2000 BBA batch. He is a great industrialist with wide industry exposure. He has worked with Al Kabir Capital Jeddah, Northern Trust Bangalore, Vitios Capital Market Services Mumbai and New York, Ramco Systems Chennai, again RSA Associates Chennai, and now he is the CEO of ItCracks Online Accounting Services. So today, CA Jomon sir has joined with us to enlighten us on the impact of budget on MSMEs. So, which is one among the four main engine drivers for development. So, dear Jomon sir, with immense pleasure, let me extend a very warm welcome to you to the panel discussion.
Thank you, Steffi.
Thank
So
you.
it's very nice to see you all after a long time. Some of you are new, but all my beloved teachers are there. So let me start with respected President Joji. He's my friend. Then Ajimon sir, respected Thomas sir, respected Joshi sir, all my friends, panelists, and everyone who are here. So
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Can you hear?
Sir, can I introduce the rest of the panel members too? After which we shall begin with the discussion.
Yeah, that's fine. But let's continue this, and maybe you can introduce each and everyone then and there, so it will be easier for everybody to remember their names, right? So can you hear me, all of you?
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah, it's audible. It's audible.
All right. So since I have started with, let me just begin with a couple of points I would like to initially discuss. Maybe after on we can have a question answer and a proper discussion on each and every topic. So to start with, let me also take it from where Joshi sir just talked. It was like our Ajiman sir also was talking about the four engines which they have they were talking about. And the major engines are like they said, agriculture, MSME, investment, and export. And the topic that I'm going to talk now is about MSME and the key measures, what are applicable or what is affecting MSMEs. So for MSMEs, there are a lot of importance in this budget. So if you look at the budget this time, you will realize that Finance Minister has given many special package, and also it is not these are not new packages, but these are existing packages, but they have fueled it, like George sir said. So if you look at MSMEs, it is very important because the fourth engine is export, and the 45% of our exports are coming from MSMEs. So now you see what is the importance of MSME. So MSME has a dual advantage here. And another point, or why they are encouraging MSME, is that our common notion was that everybody should be getting job, and government or some public sector should give jobs to everybody. But over and during these multiple periods of budgeting and governing, all the governments have now realized that it is not very easy to provide job for everybody through public sector or through government schemes or anything else. The only practical point, possibility is to encourage MSMEs, get more entrepreneurs on the picture so that they can give jobs to many people. So that was the kind of that is a kind of understanding government has. That is a focus government is doing now, and this budget also is focusing a lot on the same. So we used to say, we cannot give you fish every day, but we will teach you how to fish. Okay. So that's the kind of approach now going on, and that is kind of policy that government is coming up with. So for MSME, there are many points now. So they have already spoken about what kind of reclassification of MSME. The purpose of reclassification of MSME is to boost the MSME so that each and every MSME who are already existing, they can take advantage of the current system and also grow. So that is the main purpose of this expansion. So the investment limit has been enhanced by 2.5 times, and the threshold for by turnover has been increased by 2 times. So just to start up, just to remind you, the micro enterprises was having an investment limit of 1 crore and turnover limit of 5 crore. That has been revised to 2.5 crores and 10 crores. And similarly, you may be already familiar with all these, increase. Medium enterprises, the threshold investment was 50. Now they have increased to 125. And for medium enterprises, the current turnover limit was 250 crores. Now it is 500 crores. That means all the companies which are having less than 500 crores turnover will come under this MSME category, and they will get all the benefits offered to MSMEs after this budget. And not only that, classification criteria change. In addition to that, they have also given enhanced credit availability with a guarantee. So this is one of the major advantage for MSME. They can avail credit with a public guarantee. So that means the government has a mechanism through which they get a guarantee. So it is easy to get collateral-free loan. So that threshold also has been increased. Micro and medium-scale enterprise can get up to 10 crore loans. Earlier it was just 5 crores. And startups can now get 20 crores of loan. And if you are doing export, you can get up to 20 crores of loans. So that is a major development. And there are also some additional, schemes like what to provide more jobs and more empowerment for women, SCST, and first-time entrepreneurs. They have also, introduced a customized credit card with the 5 lakh limit. Yeah, which is very interesting. But I don't know how many of small enterprises or micro enterprises can get this advantage, because they are planning to give some 10 lakh such cards. But there are already 5.84 crores of micro enterprises registered on the Udyam portal. So out of that, maybe possibly this during maybe coming 3 or 4 years, few people or few entrepreneurs may get. But this is going to be a game changer. A lot of people are going to have some easy cash. So a lot of small enterprises are suffering from cash crunch. So when I used to go for audit, also, many small companies, they used to say the bank is not giving us any loan, and whenever we are doing something good and we have enough cash, the bank is coming and telling us, okay, let me give you more funds. But when I have a shortfall or I am not doing good for a couple of years, I need cash. At that time, they are not giving me enough credit facility. So this 5 lakh credit, I think it will be a booster for especially the micro enterprises. In addition to this, they have also come with a lot of schemes like National Manufacturing Scheme. And there are a lot of focus areas like Global Toy Hub, then footwear and leather sectors. So let me just allow me to talk a few seconds about this Global Toy Hub. This is an initiative. Government has done an analysis of the toy business in India. They realize that there are a lot of opportunity in this area because toys are coming from abroad. A lot of toys are imported, and there is an opportunity for making this in India. So if any of you are interested in small scale businesses or something, toy is one of the options. Government is promoting it, that is it. And they're also trying to make this in India a toy hub, and there is a lot of opportunity there. So the making toy is not a very complicated rocket science or anything. It is easy, but I believe that will promote lot of trade. And there are other measures like they have focuses on footwear and leather sectors. And government also is planning for a Bharat Trade Net, which will ease a lot of the trading in our country. Okay. Now, I'm just touching up on a couple of major measures, and I want to get into, because I'm a chartered accountant and I am also interested in this income tax and tax holiday kind of things. So let me touch upon what are the what is the impact of this new extension of time limit for 80 ISA, which is a tax holiday for startups. So earlier, this provision was there earlier also. Startups were allowed like 100% tax exemption for 3 consecutive years. That was that was an excellent provision. But many could not take advantage of this because, when we plan for an investment, we don't know whether this
Jomon sir,
clause,
you have one
yeah,
more minute time.
yeah,
Kindly excuse me.
whether this clause will be applicable when I actually go and register my company. So the startups were in a struggle, and when we prepare, budget and proposed ROI for this kind of startups, what happens is like we cannot give this 30% exemption. So, for example, in the next the third year of business, if you are forecasting that you are going to get like 30% 100 crore profit, I can give a provision for, I have to give a provision for 30% as tax, right? But now, but there is no guarantee whether this provision will be available at that time. But now they have made it very clear, any companies, any startup which is registering until 31st March 2030 will have this benefit, and you are free to do your planning now. You can register after 1 or 2 years, and you can also you give all your proposals to your angel investors and other banks and investors, and at that time you can consider this tax exemption, and that's going to increase your ROI by a huge margin. So that is big advantage, even though it looks like it is a small provision or it's a small change, but this is a very key advantage. I think I have time to go into one more quick section, which is the amendment to a definition of capital asset. This is also very good for startups and micro enterprises. The point is, yeah, all the investments of this AIF, alternative investments funds, had a confusion with the taxing. So whenever this investment fund, let's say angel funds, so when these angel funds sells their shares or their holdings to another angel fund or somebody else, they had to pay tax. So their income or that revenue was classified as regular income, which was taxed at 30%. But now government has made it clear any angel fund who is selling the shares of these particular kind of shares of startups and the micro enterprises will come under the purview of capital gain tax. That means you will only be paying 12.5% as capital gain tax, which means it is a very good news for all the angel investors. So the startups and a lot of micro enterprises are going to get a lot of benefit out of it, and the people are going to start investing in startups and small enterprises. So there will be a lot of capital mobilization. So I think my time is over. I think I thank you everybody for listening, and moving it back to Steffi. Steffi, please take over.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you. Yes, Joman sir has rightly mentioned about MSMEs in the budget as a key engine for development. He has emphasized on all of the aspects, and definitely, I really do think that government can still initiate more of production-linked schemes to other segments too. So, with this, let me move on to the next panel member, Dr. Shinil Sebastian, an honored alumnus of 1999 2002 BBA batch. He has showcased his proficiency both as an industrialist and as an academician by working as assistant professor at Christ University, Marian Institute of Management, Kuttikanam, and SCMS Cochin. And now let me proudly let you know his present profile. He is the founder and CEO of Kerala Spices Online.com. Today, Dr. Shinil Sebastian will enrich us on the impact of Budget 2025 on personal finance, taxes, and investments. So over to you, Shinil, sir.
Thank you, Steffi. First of all, I thank you all organizers of this event for inviting me. And my teachers are there, respected teachers, and my dear friends. I just wanted to talk about a few things which is introduced by our finance minister to help our all middle class people. So already our Joshi sir mentioned a few things about that. I may elaborate a little bit on that. She introduced or she is saying that those who are earning up to 12 lakh no need to pay tax. This is a very good benefit for all of us because all of us are under the middle class category nowadays. So in that case, so this proposal will help us. And what she's saying that up to 12 lakh, so you no need to pay tax. And for the salary classes like us, another benefit like standard deduction of 75,000 means 12.75 lakhs is exempted from the tax. No, it means already Joshi sir mentioned that almost 1 crore people are exempted or maybe excluded from the paying this tax. When they're doing this kind of exercise, government know that they are almost foregoing almost 1 lakh crore amount because of this initiative. Another important changes she proposed that in this tax slab structure, all of you know that. Say earlier it was up to 3 lakh, there is no tax. Now it is tax slab has changed. Now it is from up to 4 lakh, there is no tax. 4 to 6 lakhs, it is a 5%. Then 8 to 12 lakh, it is 10%. Then 12 lakh to 16 lakh, it is 15%. 16 lakh to 20, it is 20%. 20 lakh to 24 lakh, it is 25%. Above that is 30% slab. Say because of these changes, say like how it is we people are getting benefit. Say for example, it is already she mentioned that those who are earning up to 24 lakhs per annum, so they're able to save almost 1.1 lakh per annum. So those are able to earn up to 12 lakh, So they can save almost 80,000. So here is the trick what she is proposing. Because of this saving element, so we people start spending more. So that is what she is aiming. Say, as our Joshi sir already mentioned, it's a consumption. Say we all going to spend more money. Say we consume more. We are going to spend more amount of money in the market, in the various field. So that is what she is trying to do, because when we spend money, that money will come back to economy. She is trying to give a growth to the economy by in a sustainable way. The money is flowing into the economy. When they are saving amount, or when they are keeping this amount in their hand, they may be spending or they may be saving in different ways. So this will help to boost economy. So there's a good package which she is introduced in the market. Then so we may think about how it will be beneficial to us. So when we spend more money, the economy will grow. Economy in the sense certain areas, especially as an investor point of view, when you're investing, you can consider few areas like consumer durable industries, travel and tourism, automobile industry, then e-commerce industry, because people are going to spend over here. So especially real estate boom also will happen, because when we have additional amount of money in our hand, we may think about buying a new car, or maybe buying a new house, or those who are planning to buy a house, they may be buying a bigger houses. This will help to improve the real estate sector too. Automobile industry, definitely it will move. So as an investment point of view, so if you want to take advantage of this initiative, so you can consider about investing in some specific sectoral funds, or maybe you can invest in some sectors like, as I mentioned, automobile industry, consumer durable industry can consider. So in different way, this proposal, it is helping us. So another area I just wanted to touch on, because I mentioned that is a new income tax bill 2025. So there are some takeaways from the new income tax bill. So mainly they are focusing on removing all obsolete provisions. This is a major initiative they are going to introduce. Then so all of you know that as we always talk about assessment year and previous year. This create a lot of confusions in common man. So instead of that, they are going to introduce tax year. This will help us to maybe simplifying the terms. Some of these terms, that is one of the area they are focusing on. Changes in the tax structure, subsections are going to remove some of the subsections. Then more comprehensive. Earlier there was almost 46 chapters where they are going to introduce only 23. Then there was almost 19 sections, and now they are proposing that it make 536 sections. Then another thing it is almost currently it is almost 1,12,000 words are there. They are cutting short to 2,60,000 words. So this is the way they are simplifying the tax laws. Then easy interpretations, easiness in tedious, because we all of are facing these issues when we are filing the tax. Tedious from various sections, various areas. That will comes in a single category, a single section, and simplifying the tables. All this will happen when they are introducing new income tax bill. Then simple way, overall, this revised structure or revised tax slab is to simplify, reduce tax liability, and encouraging the people to opt new tax regime. So that is the main reason, because many people are taking the old regime because of some deductions are available. I'm sure that many of us or many middle class people will go and move forward to opting new regime. So that itself, as our finance minister know that the money will come back to us. That will come back to the economy. That will boost the economy. That is what. Now another way we can simply say that she was trying to do justice like ease of doing business, ease of living.
Shinil sir, you have 1 more minute.
Yes, I am just concluding. I am just saying that it is the budget was trying to help middle class people. Is almost 1 crore people are exempted, or maybe they are excluded from that paying tax. That itself is a huge relief for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Shinan. So in fact, you have very well explained the income tax reforms by emphasizing on to the dual benefits of accelerated consumption and of course of enhanced personal investment too. So, and sir has also detailed on the new income tax bill 2025. Okay, so thank you, sir. And now we have Mr. Anand Kuriakos, again, a celebrated former student of Marian College, Kuttikanam, 2001-2004 BCom batch. He is having a great banking exposure. He has an expertise in credit, again in risk management, investment banking, and branch banking. And of course, presently, he is the Assistant General Manager and Head Credit Rating, Market Intelligence Unit, and Sustainable Finance of South Indian Bank Limited. So today, Anand sir is joined with us to illuminate our intellectual horizon by detailing on the impact of Budget 2025 on banking industry. So over to you, Anand sir.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Thank you, Steffi. First of all, I would like to thank Ajimon sir and Thomas sir. Both are my gurus. Ajimon sir was my guru in banking. I think in 2001, I joined Marian College. He was my class in charge and he was taking banking. So now last 19 years, I'm in bank. So obviously my basics of ABCD of banking is I learned from Ajimon sir. So thank you so much, sir. And our finance guru, Thomas sir, was my finance teacher, even costing and financial management in BCom. So every day we are dealing with finance only. So at the end of the day, that there also the basics, the ABCD is coming from Thomas sir. So I use this opportunity to just remember those days, and thank you so much, Ajimon sir and Thomas sir. Then back to the topic, budget. As we all know, if you talk about banking, what is the impact on budget on banking? Obviously, the budget impact on the economy will be ideally the impact of budget on banking, because both are Siamese twins. If economy is doing good, banking will do good. If banking do bad, economy will do bad. Even if you see in the historically, many time policymaker use banking as a tool to stimulate the economy. Even COVID time also we have seen. So this budget, the good part is the economy. I think in financial year 2026, the budget is projected a GDP figure of absolute figure of almost 357 trillion. 1 trillion is 1 lakh crore. So 367 trillion is the GDP which is projected. So the importance of that figure is, if you divide by our rupee 87, it is crossing 4 trillion US dollar. So we were looking for a moment of 4 trillion US dollar. Once we reach 4 trillion, we may be the fourth largest economy. If we reach the 5 trillion economy, that likely to happen 2 years from now, maybe financial 28, we will be the third largest economy, surpassing even Japan and Germany. So this in that context, it's a good moment. This year they are targeting 10% GDP growth. So normally, if, as I said earlier also, if economy is growing good, banking will do good. The ratio, if historically, if you see the data, if economy is growing at 10%, normally bank will grow 1.2x of that. If economy is growing 10%, banking will grow at 12%. So if I want to say anything about banking, obviously it's all about economy. So I just use some academic side, since most of them are academicians. So in academic context, we have learned how money supply is created. We have learned how monetary policy support money supply, how monetary policy stimulate economy. So fundamentally, whether fiscal policy means basically budget, whether budget can create any money supply is something which we'll have a look at. So in our theoretical class, even Ajimon sir taught me in banking theory and practice in 2001. There also, banking is all about accepting deposit and depositing. It is just an intermediary function, like a broker, just taking money from Teshma and give it to Joji. So basically an intermediary, broker between depositor and lender. That is, I think most of them are learned about banking. It's just an intermediary. It is just passing the parcel. Nothing else it is doing. It is not doing nothing else, just passing the parcel. So that is the theoretical stand I think we all having. So in that context, I think economy or policymaker don't want to do much because it's just a broker only. Nothing can be done. But policymaker does not treat bank as just a passing the parcel. Many other things banks are doing. So I'll just focus on that first. Before that, I just have one simple question in our even to everyone, not for answering, just for thinking. What actually create money? Whether deposit create loan or loan create deposit. Normally deposit create loan and loan create deposit, which in our earlier days, people used to ask, egg come first or chicken come first? So similarly, I'm asking another question, whether deposit create loan or loan create deposit. Basically, our understanding in our academic side also, we used to say it is collecting deposit, accepting deposit and channelize into loan. That is basically all about banking, right? So, but actually it is in the other way. Actually, banks create money. Bank create, if you are creating, if as I said, deposit create loan or loan create deposit, it's actually loan create deposit. So if I'm giving 1 lakh to Reshma, so Reshma, if Reshma won 1 lakh rupees, if you ask if you come to South Indian Bank, will sanction 1 lakh loan and credit it to your saving account, right? So obviously your saving account balance also will be 1 lakh. So your loan also will be 1 lakh. So every loan which we create, equally we are creating a deposit. So at the end of the day, loan or credit growth is the critical part of banking. So that is something which all policy makers, as I said, whether it is RBI or government, all are focusing on money creation. Money creation will support growth. So for money creation, the fundamental is credit growth has to come. So all policy measures in the budget obviously focus on loan creation or credit creation. That is the ultimate objective of every policy. Even budget also you can see such measures. A couple of measures which is coming in the budget, which was purely focusing on creating demand for loan and creating supply for loan. That is two side. I think those measures we already discussed. So all the measures which we discussed in the past about MSME, government is giving a guarantee. It is not exactly government is creating guarantee for MSME's loan up to 10 crore. That limit earlier our MSME Jomon discussed also 5 crore to 10 crore, the loan to MSME. The guarantee part is increased. So guarantee is there. As a bank, obviously, we want,
Sir?
Sorry?
Yeah, just 1 more minute time.
Yeah, I'll wind up in the right way. Okay. So as a banker, we want loan to get repaid. So that is fundamentally we want to look at. So normally MSME side, the delinquency rates are high. So lending without security is a tough game, not just for everyone. If you are thinking from the pocket point of view of a banker, if your money is, the probability of getting back is less, obviously we'll ask for collateral. So to replace that, this credit guarantee scheme, that will obviously an alternative for collateral. So that is a one major mechanism which allow credit flow into the banking system. And that's all. We will, any further query, we will discuss more. Thank you.
Okay, sir. In fact, Anand sir has very well explained like how economic growth directly leads to the growth of the banking sector, and he has re-emphasized on the notion that how credit growth measures the critical growth of the sector. So thank you so much, sir. And now, next again, we have a respected alumnus in our panel. So it is none other than Mr. Vipin Joseph of 2001-2004 BBA batch. So he is a great industrialist with 17 years of experience, and he has worked with mostly major corporates including Reliance, Muthoot Finance Corporation Limited, and HDFC Life. And presently, he is the compensation and benefits manager of Popular Vehicles and Services Limited. So today, Sir has joined with us to throw insights on how the budget directly affects the salaried class, and very especially from HR perspective. So over to you, Vipin, sir.
Thank you. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. So, as Anand said, I'm happy to be presenting this in front of my HOD, that is none other than Joshi sir. I don't know, because video is off, so I cannot see his expression, facial expression, because during the EBA days, I've not presented a single seminar in front of him, so he might be surprised. So anyway, because of time constraint, I'm moving ahead. So Mr. Shinir already covered most of the personal income tax changes, but I thought of highlighting 2-3 things which will be helpful for the salaried class. So everyone was pleasantly surprised, because from 7 lakhs, the limit moved to 12 lakhs. And for salaried and pensioners, even we can extend it up to 12.75 lakhs, since 75 lakhs is another standard deduction is applicable. So whoever is earning a taxable income of 12.75 will pay zero tax. So there was another confusion regarding what about 12 point, maybe a 1 rupees or 100 rupees, what about them? So another thing called marginal relief will come into place, so that whoever earning maybe 12 lakh 100 rupees, they have to pay the entire tax. For example, again, the tax is getting breakdown into 4 to 6 lakh, it is 5%. So all the tax will be applicable, and he or she has to pay a minimum of 60,000 rupees. So for that, again, marginal relief is in place, so that if your income is just exceeding maybe 100 rupees, you have to pay 100 rupees as tax, plus maybe a cess amount of 4 rupees. So that is also taken care. And I thought of adding whoever is earning salary, and if their HR team is supporting, then they can enroll to the NPS also, so that this 12.75 lakhs can be further extended to 13.7 lakhs. I'll give you an example also. So this cannot be done by employee alone. Obviously, the HR team support is required. And employer has to contribute the NPS as employer contribution to NPS. If a employee is directly paying the amount to NPS, it is not applicable. So if we are paying NPS as employer contribution to NPS, a further 14% of your basic plus DA is exempted. So in effect, whoever is earning up to 13.7 lakhs can be can make the TDS amount as zero. So I thought I can add a few points in that, which will impact our salaried class. So since Mr. Shinel is explained on the income tax tax percentages or slabs, I'm not moving into that. And so now what will be the impact on the take-home pay? Obviously, when tax is zero, then employees will earn more. So at least if a person is earning at least 1 lakh rupees, then a minimum of 5,000 rupees he'll save in taxes, and take home salary will be 5,000 more. So obviously employees will be having a more take home salary in hand without doing any investments. Earlier, if you think about an HR department, we have to restructure the components accordingly. For example, you would have heard about meal allowances, which will again benefit employee on the tax saving, and HRA. So when you are structuring the salary, there will be many components which will support employees in that. So whoever is earning up to 1 lakh is now not bothered about the income tax proof submission or the actual submission, anything. Without anything, they are getting 5,000 rupees in hand. And from the HR perspective, suddenly when with effect from April, many companies are processing increments also. When that additional increments also in place, a person is saving on TDS, plus he is getting another increment also. And if his income is below 12 lakh rupees or 12.7, a minimum of 10,000 rupees he is earning extra from April onwards. So as many of the respected panel members said, this will all, it is expected, this will all translate into much more consumption, and the economy will grow, much more jobs will get created. So it will definitely have a positive impact on the economy. So that was the take-home base effect. And the compensation structure part, as I said, compensation structure. So whoever is, if you think about the HR perspective, when we are negotiating with candidates, so one point where when employees moving from company to company, so we can negotiate on the CTC part, but suddenly they'll stuck on the TDS part. So now, though, I think the HR team will be having that easiness of negotiation, and maybe they can exclude TDS straight away. So compensation structure is does not matter much, but a level and above. People earning more salary will be having still, they'll be opting for the old tax regime. If you compare the previous budget year on year, there is a slight push towards new regime from the finance minister's perspective. So year on year they were pushing. So earlier the tax percentage, the stamp slabs were defined as a less percentage compared to old tax regime. Then suddenly they have added the standard deduction. First time it is as 50,000. Then next year it is increased to 75,000. Now suddenly in this particular budget, I think she didn't even mention about old tax regime. So it is understood that most of them will move to the new tax regime. And again, it is up to 12 lakhs. There is no tax. And third point, okay. So what is the impact in HR team as a department? So whoever is working in a company, you can understand starting in April, HR has to follow for the income tax declaration process. And there will be companies with digitalized process, HRMS is in place, and there will be companies who are continuing with paper process. So it is tough for HR team to get the income tax declarations in place, and later on by Feb and March they have to collect the proofs, the actuals back. So now we cannot avoid that, but still we'll be able to reduce the number of cases which we need to follow. So obviously the time, effort, and money spent will be much lesser. So now the team can have more productive work with the saving, whatever they are saving on time. And then about money, there were companies
Time
like
is up, in fact.
yes, 1 minute. So there were companies like Sodexo, Sagil, who were supporting the tax calculation and tax saving of employees. For example, people would be remembering the tax, the paper vouchers they were getting from the HR team, so that they can spend it in supermarkets and they can save money. So all those companies, they will be definitely having an impact, because they were charging from companies on each cards issued. Currently, it is digitalized, not on paper. So they were charging approximately 100 rupees per card. So it will definitely have an impact on this new generation fintech companies also. So basically, I think for salaried class, this was an excellent budget. So if you check year on year the budgets, so everyone expected eagerly, it was eagerly waiting. So I think most of the salaried middle class people will be happy. I'm concluding. So, but there is a definition in middle class. Over defining middle class is the question. So some people who are earning 1.5 lakhs will also say that I'm also middle class. So defining middle class is another concern. Otherwise, all the actual middle class people will get benefited. So that's it. I'm concluding. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Vipin sir. In fact, you have demystified the concept of marginal relief, which was an added information in relation to the income tax reforms. So, and a good move with regard to the budget 2025 again. It provides great tax relief again for the middle class. And of course, Sir has also very well explained the impact of budget on salaried class from the perspective of take-home pays and compensation structure. So thank you so much, sir. And now let's move on to the next panel member. And it is Mr. Arun George Joseph. He is an esteemed former student of Marian 2006-2009 BCom batch and presently an eminent business administration faculty, again in the postgraduate Department of Hospitality and Management at Marian College, Kutikara. So, which is a very rare privilege and indeed a great blessing. Being a student and now again as a faculty member at our college, Marian College. So, Mr. Arun is also showcasing his leadership by working as a director of Innovation and Entrepreneurship Development Cell of Marian. And presently, he's doing his PhD in buying behavior with a focus on design thinking and responsible tourism. And I think today Mr. Arun is the right person to share insights on the impact of Union Budget 2025 on tourism. So over to you, my dear friend Arun. Arun, am I audible?
Yes. Just a second. I'm doing my PPT. That's why.
Okay.
Yeah. So, good afternoon, everyone. Good evening, everyone. I'm here to present about the impact of budget on hospitality and tourism sector. Sorry for the delay. I lost my Wi-Fi connection and the PPT was in the system. Let me just check anyway. I'll just continue with the presentation. Okay. Anyway, the union budget says that we know that GDP one of the major contributor to the GDP is tourism and hospitality sector, which contributes to almost 9% of our GDP, with the 10 million foreign tourists coming in annually. Can you give me one more second to just try loading the PPT?
Sure, Arun. Sure.
Yeah.
Arun, if you need time,
Can you call the other person?
Next panel member?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Shall I do that, Arun?
Sure. You may.
Okay, fine. Okay, so since we have a delay, like Arun is actually ready with the PowerPoint presentation also. So let's give him some more time. And next, let's call the final panel member, the only lady representative, in fact. And it is CA Dr. Reshma Rachel Kurivela. She is a proud alumna of BCom 2006-2009 batch again. She has completed her ACA and CPA Australia, and her professional degrees absolutely portrays her academic excellence. And she's also a passionate teacher transforming generations. She's working as assistant professor in the Department of Commerce, BCM College, Kottayam. And yes, over to my dear friend Reshma. She will be making a detailed analysis on the relationship between economic growth and fiscal deficit. So over to you, Reshma.
Thank you, Steffi, for your nice introduction. Respected teachers and dear friends, a very warm good evening to one and all. Today, I have been assigned the task of discussing about economic growth and fiscal deficit. Both the terms economic growth and fiscal deficit are of utmost importance for every country's economy, because both these terms are going to affect the life of the citizen, will affect the future of the country. Therefore, both are having huge importance. Economic growth of a country simply means increase in the value of a country's economy. This is usually measured in terms of GDP. GDP or gross domestic product simply means it is the total value of all the goods produced and services rendered in a country over a period of time. India's expected GDP growth rate is supposed to be between 6.3 and 6.8 for the fiscal year 2026. This prediction has been done based on a survey which was conducted by the government in the year 2024-25. India also has a nominal GDP expectation for 10.1%, but the real GDP rate is expected to be something lesser than the nominal one because of the influence of inflation. With these things in mind, Union Budget 25-26 has been put forward by our Finance Minister Nirmala Ma'am, aiming at accelerated growth, securing inclusive development, and in enhancing private sector investments for the country. Like Ajibun sir has already told, agriculture, MSME, export promotion, and infrastructure investment are considered as the engines for the economic development for the next future. Indian government has allocated about 1.37 lakh crores for agricultural sector alone. Though there is a slight reduction in the budget allocation for agriculture, still agriculture is considered as one of the most important engine for development. India also has plans to make government also has plans to make our country as the food basket of the world. Making creation of this Makana board is an example of the support for agriculture. MSME sector has also been given enough support by the government in the form of enhanced credit guarantee, supply of credit card to the micro enterprises. Then government has also announced a fund of funds scheme for the startup units. This is also expected to promote growth in the country. A comprehensive export promotion scheme was introduced in the present budget. A unified digital platform named as Bharat TradeNet was also proposed to unify the international trade documentation process and all. So all these four sectors are given enough support by the government in the budget. Economic growth and fiscal deficit are said to have a close nexus according to the macroeconomic policy of our country. Fiscal deficit means the excess of government expenditure over the revenue. A moderate fiscal deficit is always considered as an acceptable thing because government is spending on infrastructure projects which is expected to support the economic growth of the country in a long term. But over several decades, our governments has been struggling with the fiscal deficits. This has happened because of the several social welfare programs and the lower tax base that we were having since independence. This effort or extra dependence on the social welfare schemes by the citizens are supposed to decline. So if that has to happen, then only government will be able to reduce its borrowing and will be able to bring down the fiscal deficit. Fiscal deficit can also result in inflation for the country and can reduce the purchasing power of the people. So it is highly required to bring down the fiscal deficit to the expected level. Government plans to bring down the fiscal deficit to a target of 4.4% from a number of 4.8% last year. Government is expecting to bring down the fiscal deficit through tools like revenue enhancement by the introduction of schemes like New Regime, which will bring in more people to contribute to the taxation system. Then government has plans to bring down the expenditure. Then it also plans to bring down or to control the debt in a well-behaved manner. If all these things are attained in an efficient way, it will be very easily possible to attain the expected levels of economic growth and fiscal levels as it is expected by our finance minister. So let us hope that our country will soon attain the expected targets for a bright future of our own citizens. Thank you.
Thank you, Reshma. That is again very well explained because fiscal deficit for the year was targeted to 4.8, and again this financial year it has targeted to 4.4%. That the meaning of fiscal deficit too was very clearly explained. I think majority of the audience are students too, so that would be really informative one. So thank you, Reshma. And now over to the last final panel member, Mr. Arun Joseph. Arun, are you ready? Arun, am I audible? Okay, yes. Over to you, Arun.
Arun is on mute.
Arun, you're on mute.
And now it's audible, right?
Yes, the PowerPoint is also visible.
Okay, thank you. So this is about the impact on hospitality and tourism sector, which contributes to 9% of the GDP of the country, and with 10 million plus foreign tourists coming into India annually. We expect a growth rate of around 10 to 12% year on year in tourist arrivals. And if there are strategic investments, it can unlock future gains for the economy. This budget comparatively earmarks good focus on that, but still there are certain glitches. So we will see about what all are the hits and what all are the misses with reference to the hospitality and tourism sector. So for regarding the infrastructure, there's a 20,000 crore earmark for tourism projects, including infrastructure improvements, land acquisition, hotels, and convention centers, etc. And project to identify 50 new destinations. That is with a 30% more increase than the previous budget is given. A projection is given for 15 to 20% revenue growth, which may add up to 50,000 crore lakh to the rupees 50,000 crore to the 5 lakh crore to the economy. Sorry. Now, regarding financial support, India Infrastructure Financial Corporation loans will be available for hotels, and for Kerala or for rural tourism, one best part is that there is a 15,000 crore mudra funding opportunity that's given for homestays. So that may definitely boost the homestays in Kerala, which is already on a boom. With rural tourism experiences getting preference world over, that's a great opportunity for India and especially for Kerala. Now, for skill development, there is funds earmarked for IITM, that is Indian Institute of Travel and Tourism Management, as well as for IHMs for their expansion. But there's a catch, as Joshi sir was saying, which we will see in the next slide. And it's to train 15,000 professionals. That is 25% more capacity increase is expected. And to improve the service quality by 20%. But at the same time, there's a huge marketing constraint with the a budget with just earmarking 30 million for marketing promotions, which is just 0.12% of the tourism budget, that is the total tourism budget. So which risks India's competitive advantage edge over Thailand, Sri Lanka, UAE, Cambodia, Vietnam, etc. We need to earmark. It would have been better if it has been more amount has been earmarked for marketing promotions of tourism. Industry status is still denied for tourism, which keeps the loans at a high rate, slightly 1 to 2% above the normal rates. So it may again reduce investments. There's a long cry for an industry status for hospitality and tourism, which is still not addressed. Taxation is still at 18%, which may lead to less competitive services owing to other countries as well as our competitors. Now, even though there's a focus for IITTMs and IHMs, the training budget is reduced by 30%. That is from 50 crore to 35 crore. So it impacts workforce readiness. So there's a contradiction there. And for Women's Safety Initiative, It has been slashed by 99.8%, which is a hefty slash. That is, and that raises a lot of security concerns for the safe destination tourism project being slashed with such a heavy cut. Now, what are the strategic recommendations for policymakers? That could be we need to increase the international marketing budget, as already said, at least 3 times to reach broad global outreach. And the industry status again is a huge prize that is required to unlock fiscal incentives and reduce operational costs in this sector. For industry leaders, they could capitalize more on infrastructure investments as loans are made available more with Mudra and other facilities, and partnering with public and private initiatives are welcome. Now, an action plan is given is to reduce the maybe in the next budget we can expect, or we could hopefully expect GST cut by 5 to 7%, and more of public-private partnerships can bring in foreign tourists by it can increase the flow by at least 15 to 20%, and funding reassessments definitely need to be done to train quality individuals. There is a dearth of quality personals in this sector. If you look at any property, any hospitality industry or its allied industries, there's a huge dearth for professionals, and the training course need to be definitely increased, and the focus needs to be reworked. Now, to conclude, the future potential is being addressed in this budget to raise the growth rate to at least 20% from the existing 10%, but there needs to be certain steps taken towards that too. So there are good points, but at the same time, there are catches. And still, but the best part of it is the 15,000 crore Mudra loan, which will be definitely boosting the rural tourism economy. Thank you.
Yes, Arun. Again, thank you. That was very well presented, in fact. Because since Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman's 2025 budget has left Kerala's wish list largely untouched, in fact. So I think the audience might be very curious to get to know how the budget has an impact on tourism, very especially Kerala tourism. That was very well explained. So thank you, Arun. And with this, we have come to the end of the panel discussion. So let me again kindly inform our audience that if you have any queries, you can post it in the chat box so that we can address, the panel members will rightly address your queries. And before which, I would like to conclude, Simi Matthew has posted in the chat group that we had to have a discussion on the drawbacks of the budget too. So I think when I conclude with this, let me also touch on some of the limitations of the budget, in fact. So first of all, let me raise just a question that how will the middle class trap has been addressed? How well the middle class trap has been addressed right out in the budget 2025? So definitely all of our panelists, our eminent team has, and very especially Dr. Shinal and Mr. Vipin sir also has given a detailed analysis on the IT reforms, which is in favor of middle class. But at the same time, the question raised is whether this benefit of tax rebate is completely spent on consumption. So that was also mentioned by Dr. Shinal sir that again, it will also go, this saved money can also be invested. Personal investment can also be enhanced out there. Again, the highlighted fact again, it is that it's just 4% of the working class who are the major beneficiaries of those income tax reforms. And so it actually does not reveal a true picture of the entire Indian population. So definitely measures should be formulated for accelerating rural consumption too. So that is one of the suggestions put forth again. So also, even when right from the beginning, our beloved teachers and again the panel members, everyone was focusing on to the 4 main engine drivers of development: agriculture, investment, exports, MSMEs. But still, I think there is, again, there need to be more measures for enhancing both private investments and public investments. So, but at the same time, again, when we look the budget 2025, it is consumption friendly. Again, it is investment friendly, and also talking about the fiscal deficit reduction also. So there is reduction in expenditure allocation for various sectors with the aim of fiscal deficit reduction. That is again a drawback because the capital expenditure, when compared with the previous budget, it has been reduced in this budget. So definitely there should be measures to enhance this capital expenditure also. So at the end, but when we conclude, however, as already mentioned right in the beginning, this budget will definitely pave the way for accelerating economic growth of our country. So, hearty congratulations again to our eminent team of panelists. You have, all of you, 6 of the panel members, our respected panel members, has enlightened and illumined our intellectual horizon on the multiple dimensions of Union Budget 2025. So, thank you so much. Now, let us move on to the question answer session. So, dear audience, so if you have any queries, either you can post it in the chat box, or you can use the microphone and raise a question. Okay, okay. Likewise, can I break the ice? So I think, just my question is to Arun. The thing is, I would like to know more about, we had a detailed, your presentation was very good, and you were talking about the
Excuse
financial
me,
support.
Steffi. Arun has technical
I'm here, Reshma.
difficulty, and
Here.
Arun,
you're here. Arun, you're here.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead. Go on. Sorry.
it's okay. It's okay. So Arun, you have mentioned about the financial support, skill development, all of these aspects. So I think the audience will be really curious to get to know how the Union Budget 2025 will enhance Kerala tourism, specifically emphasizing on to the financial support. If you could do that, it would be a great pleasure.
Okay. In the entire presentation, I was saying more about the Mudra loan. There are actually 2 types of growth that's happening in the tourism sector. Kerala tourism has a specialty now. We have the most number of 5-star hotels in Kerala. At the same time, rural tourism is also on the rise. Our students are getting a lot of placements these days as there's growth in the industry. But there are very few homestays which are streamlined now. But there's a huge number of increase in the homestays. One issue that many faces are, or many of the investors face, is they need funds to renovate their homes to make it a better facility for the tourist. Based on the recent studies, memorable tourism experience is what the tourists need. Other than the business travelers, the tourists need memorable tourism experiences, especially local experiences. And if you move from Kerala, every kilometer has something new to give, unlike any other place. So, with regard to that, when Mudra loans are available, that is without collateral, when funds are available in plenty, we can definitely see, or we may expect at least, more homestays coming up or more better facilities coming up, and that may give a boost to the rural economy. There was the political parties in Kerala are saying that to an extent that's true also. There's very less amount earmarked to Kerala. But at the same time, this is one thing that Kerala can really work upon. And we could see the fruits maybe in 1 or 2 years. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Arun. That is definitely a good move in the budget. Again, we have one question in the chat box raised by Dario Ebi. So, and the question is to CA Dr. Reshma Rachel. Could you please tell us about the relation of high fiscal deficit and inflation?
Actually, fiscal deficit and inflation are closely linked to one another. When the government is spending more, people would start demanding more goods and services, which if the supply doesn't increase in tune with the demand, then there is a possibility for the inflation to happen. Apart from this, due to high inflation, there is a possibility for the investors to leave from the country, because this high fiscal deficit is considered as something negative for the economy. So the investors may lose the confidence in the nation, and they may take the capital out from the country, and there is a possibility for imported inflation also.
Yes, Rishma, one more added question along with this
Okay.
by our beloved teacher Joshi sir.
Okay.
That is, in the budget, what policy measures have been introduced to lessen the impact of this inflation on the fiscal deficit? Rishma, am I audible?
Sorry, I just lost the connection. Okay. Could you please repeat the question?
Sure, yes. In the budget, what kind of policy measures have been introduced so as to lessen the impact of inflation on the fiscal deficit?
Okay, that is, government has reduced allocation for some sectors. Key sectors like agriculture, there is a reduction. In agriculture sector, there is a reduction by 2.5%. Even though agriculture is the prime engine for growth, even agriculture, there is a reduction for 2.5%, which will bring down fiscal deficit. And if fiscal deficit comes down, definitely this imported inflation also, value of money or confidence of the investors can bring back the cash investment or the investment in companies back to the economy, and this indirectly can bring down inflation.
Yes, thank you, Reshma. That was very well explained again. If anyone else, any more queries? Any more questions to be raised? I would like to again talk about, like, from banking perspective, this budget in fact didn't have much of emphasis on to the sector. Only in relation to liquidity there is some kind of an issue. So my question is to Anand sir, like, regarding liquidity. Again, RBI has taken monetary policies with regard to the same, but what impact does the budget 2025 has on to this liquidity problem?
As I said in my presentation also, primarily liquidity is a monetary tool which RBI uses. As we all know, recent past liquidity was tightened primarily because a lot of dollar outflow. If FIs are selling dollar, then there may not be enough dollar may be available in the banking system. Then RBI will supply the dollar to the market. Then in turn, they are buying rupee. So they are selling dollar, then rupee will be absorbed by the RBI. So that amount will be moved out of the system, banking system. So that is a major concern for the liquidity problem. So last 3 months, if you see post Trump taken over as a US president, we see significant FI outflow in the market. Even bond side also there was an outflow. So put together, I think more than 40-50 billion dollar was moved out. Our reserve also come down from almost 700 billion US dollar to almost 630 billion US dollar. So that money would have been absorbed. $40 billion is absorbed, which is a significant amount. So to replenish that amount, RBI took a lot of measures. One is CRR cut in the recent past, almost 50 basis points CRR cut is there. Many other monetary tools every day they are using. VRR, variable reverse repo, as bank can borrow money by pledging their security every day. Occasionally, RBI come out with the VRR. So monetary is the fundamental tool to manage liquidity, and RBI is rightly doing so. On the other hand, as I said in my presentation, physical side, and my side also focusing on how loan create deposit, right? If government is focusing on credit creation or advance improvement in credit growth, obviously it will in turn create liquidity in the banking system. That is, if credit is creating, money is not moving out, it will create only that reserve money. If you are giving 100 rupees loan to someone, then 100 rupees deposit may be created. That deposit we have to put some CRR or SLR, so that reserve portion will only get reduced. So the remaining amount will be available in the banking system. So overall, government side, two measures they can take. One is focus on credit growth. Second is reduce the cash in your pocket and my pocket. So if you are keeping money in your pocket, it is not available for lending. So almost 35 trillion rupees is there in your pocket and my pocket. If it is coming into the banking system, then obviously that money flow will be improved, that much liquidity will be added in the banking system. But unfortunately, we all are keeping the cash in our pocket only. So for that, government is trying for digitization exercise on to last 6-7 years. But absolutely, digitization is a successful story for India. If you see the street vendor, everyone is using Google Pay or Paytm or some other digital platform for payment. But at the same time, the cash in the banking system also significantly cash in your pocket. There is a cash in your banking system and there is a cash in the banking system. Cash in the banking system is very minuscule, maybe 1 lakh crore rupees, maybe 1 trillion. But cash in your pocket or my pocket will be 35 trillion. If that money is coming from your pocket to banking system, that much liquidity will be additionally created in the banking system. So all these measures, digitization, credit creation, everything in a way support liquidity in the banking system.
Thank you, Anand sir. So I think we have no more questions in the chat box. And so with this, let us conclude. And once again, I extend my hearty congratulations to our respected panel members for the wonderful presentation and again, the way how you have addressed the queries. So thank you so much. And once again, thank you to the team, very especially MAAK team, for giving all of us this wonderful opportunity. So over to you, Reshma.
Thank you very much, Dr. Steffi Kejos, my dear friend, and all the panel members. Now I would like to invite Ms. Alina Joshi, Vice Chairperson of MAAK Cochin, to deliver the vote of thanks.
I'm audible, right?
Yes.
Good evening to one and all. On behalf of the Marine Alumni Association Kuttikanam, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you for your participation and support, which has made the Decoding Budget 2025 event a resounding success. First and foremost, I would like to express special thanks to Professor Dr. Ajimon George, Principal of Marine College Kuttikanam, for inaugurating the budget discussion and setting the tone for the event with your valuable insights. Professor Dr. K.V. Thomas, Principal of BCM College Kottayam, for gracing us with your esteemed presence and contributing to the success of this event. Dr. Joshi John, Associate Professor and Head of the Department, Marine College Kuttikanam, for your significant contribution to making this event possible and your presence today. Special thanks to Mr. Joji Sebastian, President of MAAK, for your leadership, vision, and guidance. Your constant support has been a driving force behind the success of this event. Special thanks to Administrator Reverend Father Joseph Mungandanam for his support and dedication. I would also like to thank the MAAK team for their tireless efforts and dedication in organizing this event, ensuring everything went smoothly. A special mention goes to MAAK Cochin for their invaluable support and guidance, as well as the Marine College Kuttikanam for their continued collaborative spirit in making this event successful. A heartfelt thank you to our experienced panelists, CA Jomon, Anand Kuriakos, Arun George, CA Dr. Reshma Rachel, Dr. Shainal Sebastian, and Bibin Joseph for your enthusiastic participation and for sharing your expertise in such an engaging manner. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to the masterminds behind the scenes who conceptualized and brought Decoding Budget 2025 to life. Reshma Jero, Dario Ibi, Sebastian Manuel, and Giomon Antony, your creative, genius, and technical expertise were instrumental in making this event a resounding success. Special thanks to Balu M. Krishna, Secretary of MAAK. Thanks to all executive committee members, all governing committee members, all coordinators from Cochin chapter. Lastly, I would like to extend our sincere appreciation to Ms. Steffi K. Jose, our moderator, for skillfully steering the discussion and keeping us all engaged throughout. Once again, thank you all for your presence, support and participation. Let's continue working together to make such initiatives even more impactful in the future. Thank you all.
Thank you, Alina. And it is with immense pleasure and gratitude I want to sign this session off. And thank you, everyone who has joined. And thank you, the moderator and all the panelists. Wish you all a very good evening. Have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you all. Good night.
Thank you all. Wish you the same.